Greetings, people who, for some weird reason, clicked on this video. In my last video, right, that number one, a fictional etymology, I fabricated a history of the word that. In other words, I made it up, and I let you know that it was made up. It was fictional, but I was trying to figure out how the word that came into being and why it's so widely used pretty much all over the world. So I got my dictionary. I actually had 3 of these at one time. And this is one of my favorite dictionaries in the whole world. This is the Webster's 9th New Collegiate Dictionary. And this is the 1991 version. It's a great dictionary. So there's about 160,000 words in here, and I chose the word that I thought was the most important. Now, if you go on the internet, you'll see lists of words that are most prominent, most frequently used, and all that, and you won't find the word that in the list that they give you. So I was looking for a word that I felt was the most significant, all right, or a word that might be the oldest, or a word that has the most grammatical functions, all right, or the word that was most frequently used, or at least frequently used a good bit, all right? So I chose the word that. I've been studying this for almost 30 years, off and on. Excuse me. And that, in the contemporary sense, okay, in these modern times, has 5 grammatical functions. I don't know if you can see that there, 5 grammatical functions. And one of the functions is what they call a demonstrative adjective, they call it that. The second function would be adverb. The third, demonstrative pronoun. And the fourth would be either what they would call a relative pronoun or a relativizer. All right, and then the fifth function would be subordinating conjunction or the term complementizer. And I can't wait to get to my videos when I talk about the so-called relative pronoun and the so-called conjunction or complementizer, because just like with my music videos, I fixed a lot of stuff in the realm of music theory. I cleaned up the scales, I cleaned up chord notation, I cleaned up a whole bunch of stuff. And I'd like to do that with this word, since it's a very, very popular word. You likely can't go one day of your life without using the word that several times or many times. I doubt that you can do it. I can't. Now, in this episode, all right, this video, we take the word that, and we're going to look at how it's used in contemporary fashion, all right? So, some people refer to this word as a determiner, all right? Or they would use the word a determinative, all right? Now, a determiner is something that fixes the character of a thing, that fixes the character. But if you want to be more specific, you could call it a demonstrative determiner, or some people would say demonstrative adjective, and the demonstratives are widely known in a contemporary or in traditional grammar as this, that, these, and those. That's the 4 words they call demonstratives. So if you want to be more specific, you could call it that. If you want to be even more specific, you could call it a distal demonstrative determiner. All right? And distal means situated away from something, all right? Distal is situated away from something. When you point to that is not you and it's away from you ordinarily. You know, ordinarily. Unless it's you point something on your body, then it's still farther away from your brain. So here's a sample sentence. That house is sturdy, okay? Now we're using the word that in this sense that I just given you, the contemporary sense. Well, the question is, to start the process of investigating the word that, the question is it really a determiner? Okay? That house is sturdy. All right, is it a determiner? Well, yes. It tells us which house. We could call it a determiner. It's a term that's presently used, all right, in grammar books and on the internet. We could do that. Is it actually a demonstrative adjective? Is it really that? Well, an adjective modifies, describes, or names the attribute of a thing, which is ordinarily a noun, all right? An adjective modifies, describes, or names an attribute of the noun. Now, once again, we have that house is sturdy, all right? Well, in this sentence, the word that distinguished the house from other houses, but it did not modify, describe, or name an attribute of it. So it's not really an adjective, and not only that, but the word that does not make the house sturdy. It doesn't qualify the house. It just distinguishes that house from another house, right? So I don't care for any of those terms. I don't care for them. So I asked myself, could it be an article? All right, now there's, in contemporary or traditional grammar, there's things called articles and definite articles. So we ask, is it an article or is it a definite article? All right, now an article designates a noun as specific or unspecific. But in a more detailed fashion, a definite article, all right, a definite article limits the meaning of a noun to one specific thing. So let's investigate. Is it any kind of article? Here's a sample sentence. A book will be chosen. And here's the next sample sentence. The book is read. And then finally, that book is read. Now in the first sentence, a book will be chosen. We know it's a book, but it could be any book. We don't know which book, but a book will be chosen, so we know it's a book. In the second sentence, the book is read, all right? The book in question is read, but the book designated is read, but there might be more than one book, all right? Now, that book is read, the third sentence, that book is read, all right? That, the word that, meaning that specific book, all right, is more specific, more precise than the definite article the, okay? It is. Right? Now, if you don't follow that sample demonstration, if you don't follow that, let's go into a little bit more detail. Let's psychologically look into it, because remember, and I said in my last video, when you look at words or listen to words, there's usually more there than meets the ear. I said I. Oh, and last time I said in the video, let's cut to the quick. I said that because I figured somebody was going to get pissed off about something I say, something in my video. So I did that, but in this video, I'm actually cutting to the chase because I hope not to offend, but get straight to the point. So we're going to cut to the chase. And now here's a symbol for a book, a puppy, like a little dog, and a toy. All right? Now, if you have a child who's 3 years old, he's likely going to choose the puppy. Okay, you say, what will the child choose? And you say, oh, it's probably the puppy. I mean, I would. I'm 67. I'd choose the puppy. So if you had a 10-year-old child who is more mature and really, really likes to read, right, you can say, a book will be chosen. In other words, you say to the little boy, say, well, what do you want? You can pick one of these three things, and what will you pick? And you know he's going to pick the book. So you can say, a book will be chosen. So out of this list, he picks the book. So right away, whether it's an article or a definite article, you see that the context of your conversation, of your discourse, affects the article that you use, it affects it. You can't speak out of context. You can't do it. I don't think anybody can. So you see, a book will be chosen because you know he's going to pick the book. He loves to read. Right? Now the next sample sentence, if we look a little deeper, all right, same sentences. The book is red. Well, you see this book is red. The red here signifies that it's a red book. All right? So the book is red. The book. In context, you know it's item number 1 or this item here. You know that. But you don't know. Maybe the toy is red. The puppy won't be red, but the toy might be red. So here you have some degree of limitation here, but here you have more specificity. It's a little more specific. But now we move to that book is red. Okay, you say that book is red. All right? But what if you have 4 books? What if you have 4 books and you point to this and you say that book is red? There could be another red book over there. So you're distinguishing that one book from the others and also distinguishing that the book is red, but there could be another red book. Now you say, okay, Joe, your system's screwy, I don't like it, you messed up. No. I just explained to you, and you can go back and play this over again. If you follow this process logically, you will discover that the word that, okay, the word that is no less definite than the words a or the. You see, the word that is no less definite than the word a or the word the. And thus, I say that the first function for the word that, now in my system, in this series of videos, is as a definite article. I've chosen the term definite article for the word that. So in the next videos, we'll look at the way I use the word that and label it, and we'll talk about the word that as an adverb. I know this seems silly to some people, but I can't wait to get the videos with the 4th and 5th grammatical function, because it's really fun. I don't know if anybody's ever thought of it this way. We'll find out. So thanks for being patient, and I hope to see you soon. Good night.